dial your operator. If you need help, then dial your operator.
Hello, I'm your host, Michael Duffy, with Season 1 of Call Me for Help.
Episode 4, Basic Backups.
Welcome, I am your host, Michael Duffy. The hacker term of the day is backups. What is a backup? A backup is simply a copy of your data. At minimum, you should have one copy of your data stored in a safe place. That safe place should be located on a device that is offline and not attached to your computer. You may ask, what data do I have that's important to backup? Okay, we've got local files on your computer, contacts, notes, pictures on your smartphone, files located on the internet, Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, iCloud. Do hackers want my backups? Yes, of course hackers want your backups. Hackers want to gather as much leverage against you as possible. When a hacker has breached your personal or work computer, they will collect and copy as much of your data that they can. Any backup attached to the computer can be easily stolen, copied, encrypted, and held for ransom. Need to audit your backup strategy? Send us an email. And now it's time for a commercial break. Hi, I'm your host, Michael Duffy from don'tgethacked.ca. So the initial intent of Season 1, Episode 4 was backups. And in November of 2021, I had an awesome interview with Michelle Mupo, the CEO of Mupo Entertainment, discussing her MacBook and the storage issues she was having on her MacBook and backups. And we did a Zoom call, and there's no audio. There's no audio in the recording with Michelle Mupo. Cue the tears. So unfortunately, we have to change the episode a little bit. So we're going to be discussing backing up a MacBook, backing up an iMac, backing up a Windows computer, iOS like an iPhone, iPad, and your Android device. So this is basic discussion about backups, just backups, because you need to make sure you have at least one copy of your data. But any IT professional like myself is going to recommend three backups. But today we're going to talk about one backup of each of your devices, a laptop or a phone, and keep it simple. But we want to make sure you, the end user, knows where your data is, and we want to make sure you know how to back up your own stuff. So enjoy today's episode.
How do we back up a Mac? It's easy. Time machine. It's built right in. So back to the Zoom session with Michelle Mupo, our guest, the CEO from Mupo Entertainment. So she's got a twofold issue on her MacBook. She's out of space, and there's no backups of the data on her MacBook. So we clicked on the Apple in the top left-hand corner of her screen, clicked on About This Mac, and that shows us that her, you click on Storage on that tab, the box that opens up, and that's going to show you the usage. So we know that the internal hard drive is pretty much full, and she has plugged in a Seagate portable hard drive, and we need to verify we're going to use that Seagate for her Time Machine backup. Hey, it's Mike. So we've discovered that we're going to use the Seagate hard drive Michelle plugged in previously. We've named it Storage, and we're going to use it to offload some of our video files off the MacBook to free up some space. So she has now plugged in a hard drive called Easy Store, and it is larger. The Easy Store hard drive is 5 terabytes. However, currently it's formatted for Windows, so we need to format it for Mac and then choose it as the Time Machine backup location, and then verify both the backup and the files she's going to store on the storage drive are both backing up to the Time Machine hard drive. Okay, so once we've got the external hard drive erased, there is a pop-up in the top right-hand corner asking us if we want to use the disk Seagate storage for backup. And we clicked on Setup. You can also get into Time Machine settings by clicking on the clock in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Okay, the Time Machine backup has been running on Michelle's laptop for about 20 minutes, give or take. It's backed up about 12 gigabytes of 230 some gigabytes. The approximate ETA finished completion time is about 10 hours. It's not going to take that long, but you do have to make sure your laptop's left open, doesn't go into power saving mode, all that stuff. You want to make sure that the initial backup finishes, and then each subsequent backup will be much quicker. Hey, it's Mike. I am back checking up on Michelle's MacBook Time Machine backup situation. Generally, when I do these calls remotely, we get something set up, and then I have to check on it in a couple hours or the next day. The Time Machine backup is still progressing, and she has confirmed she's just going to babysit it over the next couple of days, and I'll remote back in, and we will verify everything's been backed up appropriately. Michelle's initial Time Machine backup will take roughly 4 hours. Okay, here's a recap on Time Machine. It's the best backup strategy for Apple devices to get you started. MacBook, MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, iMac, Mac Mini, Mac Pro. If you have any Apple desktop, Time Machine has existed for over a decade. So for over 10 years, we've had this awesome backup software built into your Mac called Time Machine. Get yourself a USB drive and set up your Time Machine backups so at least you have your first set of backups. Of course, you want 3 backups, but Time Machine works for your first backup. Okay, now it's time to recheck those Time Machine backup setup instructions, and we're going to do it on Mike's personal iMac. Hi, it's Mike. So, here's a screenshot video recording from my iMac, my personal iMac at home, which already has Time Machine backup set up. However, in this video, I'm showing you that I've got disk utility open. I've confirmed I have a USB hard drive plugged into it. That USB hard drive is not formatted for Apple yet, so I'm choosing to format it as APFS. It takes 30 seconds to a minute or two to format that hard drive. Once the hard drive is formatted, I'm clicking on the time machine, the clock icon in the top right-hand corner of the screen, and selecting the USB hard drive for the backup and letting the backup run. Well, Mac backups are easy using Time Machine. What about Windows 7, 8, or 10? How do we back up a Windows PC? By using Backup and Restore. It's built right in. Okay, so here is my Windows 10 desktop, and there's a USB hard drive plugged into it, so we need to erase it for Windows Backup to see it. So I'm going into Control Panel, and then Administrative Tools, and then Computer Management. And Computer Management on Windows shows all the hard drives attached to your computer. So once I'm in there, you go to Disk Management, and Disk Management will show you all the hard drives attached. So the USB hard drive I've attached for the backups is Disk 2. So I have to erase Disk 2, and then I'm going to set it up to be the backup drive. Okay, so we have the that USB hard drive, and we're just getting it formatted. And now it's showing up as D drive, new volume. So now we're going to go back into the control panel and find the app called Backup and Restore, Windows 7. So this application exists for Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. We launch it. I'm just going to show you that this is a Windows 10 home computer, probably similar to what you're using at your home or office. So there we go. It's Windows 10 Home. Just so each of these screens should match up with what you have at. Okay, so back to the Backup and Restore window. We click on Setup Backup. It says Starting Windows Backup. So there's this wizard that pops up and steps us through setting up Backup and Restore. Okay. Select where you want to save your backup. We're going to choose the D drive, new volume. Click Next. Generally, I would say keep it on Let Windows Choose, but because this is a test backup, we're going to hit Let Me Choose, and I'm going to go through the C drive, and we're only going to select the Users folder. So the Users folder is selected. I've deselected the image. I just want to show you the process of running your backup. So now the backup is in progress, and you have a little green line showing you the progress. Recap. For Windows computers, that's Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11, the built-in Backup and Restore in the control panel is your first backup in your backup strategy. Recap. Step 1. You require a USB hard drive that is formatted for Windows. This is usually NTFS formatting, and typically a brand new hard drive from a store will be already formatted for Windows computers. However, if you need to format it, you know it's quite easy to do. Step 2. Click on the Windows Start menu and type in or locate the control panel. Once you have the Windows control panel open, look for the Backup and Restore icon or search for it. Once you're there, find the button to launch the Backup Wizard. Step 5. Confirm your USB hard drive is detected. Step 6, choose your backup type. It's either Windows Automatic or User Defined, and you can choose only a few folders. Step 7, confirm the backup completes. Wasn't that easy to do?
Are we learning new things? Making some progress? It's a great time for a commercial break.
How do we back up an iOS device like an iPhone or an iPad? Well, we download iTunes for your PC or Mac. You may ask me, why would you back up your iPhone or iPad? Isn't everything stored in the cloud? Apple's iCloud service provides 5 gigabytes of complimentary free space. This might be enough to back up small items like contacts, notes, etc., but not enough for an iPhone or iPad device backup. You have the option of upgrading to more iCloud storage, which would be enough to back up all of your devices. I would consider Apple's iCloud backup to be your second backup strategy. If we back up your phone to your computer, that's your first backup, and automatic iCloud backup could be your second backup. Okay, so this is a screenshot I took from my iPhone. As you can see, I'm using 5 gigabytes of iCloud storage. I have no free iCloud storage. My text messages alone are 5 gigabytes. So I'm going to show you what happens when you click on the upgrade button. Okay, as you can see, upgrading to 50 gigabytes costs me $1.29 Canadian a month. 200 gigabytes costs $3.99 Canadian a month, and 2 terabytes is $12.99 Canadian a month. Okay, so we're going to show you how to do a iPhone backup, because look at this. This phone has been crashing for weeks, and there's not much songs, video, there's not much stuff on it. 64 gigabyte capacity. It is almost 285 megs free. My iPhone XR only has 64 gigabytes of storage capacity. Currently, it has less than 1 gigabytes free. I think that's video showed 200 megabytes. It is super slow, apps crash, and it keeps warning me I have 0 space. So I need to clean up the data, but I want to back it up first. So what's been happening is things crash. So you open up an app and sometimes they work. TikTok's working right now. Let's see. Facebook seems like it's working right now. And then let's see, text messages, and then Instagram. Let's see, can I get into Messenger? Fine. I can get into Messenger, fine. So right now it's not crashing, but usually what happens is you open it up and everything crashes. So right now it's stable. However, we're out of space. So what we need to do is back it up and figure out what's taking up all the space. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Yeah, it's not crashing right now. Wow, not crashing. But I bet if I go take a video. Okay, so as soon as I launched the photo app on my iPhone, I went over to videos. I get the message that the iPhone storage is full. So we need to back it up in order to, before we can clean it up. Hey, it's Mike. So how do we back up your iPhone or iPad to a Mac computer or a Windows computer? Step 1, you got to make sure you have iTunes installed. So you go to, if you're on a Mac, you should already have iTunes installed, and perhaps it may need to be updated. On a Windows computer, you go on the internet, you search for iTunes, and you download iTunes. Regardless of the computer, MacBook or Windows, you're going to have to install iTunes, make sure it's up to date, plug in your iPhone to the computer. You may have to plug the iPhone in a couple times. You're going to get a bunch of prompts asking you to confirm that you want the phone to talk to the computer. Once everything's good, we're going to go into those instructions next. So you need to make sure you have iTunes installed on your Mac or your Windows computer. Anyway, here's those instructions. Here's a screen recording of the iPhone iPad backup on my MacBook Pro running OS X 12.2. Okay, so this screen recording shows, it may look different than your computer. I'm running Mac OS X Monterey, the newest version of the Mac operating system on my MacBook, so iTunes has changed a little bit. But regardless, you can see my phone is called don'tgethacked.ca. And in the Finder window, where you see your folders on your computer, any hard drives plugged in, you can see that don'tgethacked.ca is there as a device, as a location, and right around where it says backups, it says that my iPhone's never backed up to this computer, okay? So you click on backup now, and then it starts backing up. So one thing to keep in mind is if you have a very large capacity phone, like a 64 gig or 128 gig or 256 gig iPhone or iPad, your backup might take 30 minutes to an hour. Depends on the speed of your computer. But in a nutshell, make sure iTunes is installed. You plug your phone in. If you get prompted for a software update, you follow those steps, and then you just wait and make sure that your computer, that the backup finishes. I also turned off sleep mode and power saving mode on my MacBook just to make sure the backup completed successfully.
30 minutes to 1 hour later, the backup is finished.
Okay, so I'm back, and the iPhone is almost finished backing up to the MacBook, and it's just completing now. You can see at the bottom it says backing up, don't get hacked.ca. That's the name of my iPhone XR. And when this process finished, it is going to show you the storage layout of the phone. So, as I said, 30 minutes to an hour for a backup. Should probably do that on a regular basis, so at least once a year. More likely, if you make changes to your phone a lot, you want to do it monthly or quarterly. So the backup is finished now, and you can see that it says the last backup to the Mac was today at 1:22 p.m. So now we have an official iPhone backup sitting on my MacBook. So the next step would be to start deleting video and images and unused apps from my phone to clear up that storage space.
Okay, so we just finished backing up my iPhone XR to the MacBook, and now we're going to go through the steps of backing up my iPhone to a Windows 10 computer.
Okay, so on the Windows computer, you want to go on the internet and search for iTunes. And then you go to the iTunes website, and there is going to be, you need to find the link to download iTunes for Windows. And once you find the download link, you download the version of iTunes that is appropriate for that computer that you're using. Generally, everything these days is going to be 64-bit, but you'll have the option of downloading a 64-bit version or a 32-bit version. You may also be tricked in downloading a link for the Windows 10 store, but we don't want to download from the Windows 10 store. I scrolled down the website, and there is a link there looking for other versions, and we're going to click on Windows, and then we will download iTunes for Windows Now, the 64-bit version, and it will download to your downloads folder. It's 200 megabytes. It's going to take a minute or two to download, and once it's finished downloading, you're going to launch it and finish installing it. Now that iTunes for Windows is installed, we are going to plug your iPhone or your iPad into the computer, and we're just going to see if you're going to get a couple prompts. You have to click allow or yes to let the iPhone talk to the computer. And once it's happy, you're going to see it show up as a device. So we're just going to wait until my iPhone shows up on this iTunes screen. There we go. So I've unplugged it and plugged it back into the computer twice. And I'm just trying to get past the allow permission pop-up on my iPhone. Okay, there we go. Now we got a permission pop-up on the Windows computer. So we click on continue. And then there should be a little phone icon that shows up near the music tab in iTunes. And then once that, see, now it's working. Okay, we just had a little progress. And then there's another pop-up. We're going to click yes to that pop-up. and we're just waiting for the device information screen to pop up, and I'm just going to hit cancel. I'm not going to worry about updating my software right now. And once I get to the main screen of the device, it's going to tell you your iPhone has never been backed up to this computer, and we're going to click on backup now.
Okay, so we've covered backing up a Mac, we've covered backing up a Windows computer, we've covered backing up an iPhone or an iPad to both Windows and Mac. Now we're going to cover backing up your Android device to Windows or Mac.
How do we back up an Android device? Well, you can use the cloud, but we're going to find and download the desktop software to make a local backup on your computer.
In order to back up your Android phone to a MacBook or a Windows computer, you're going to need to download Android software from the manufacturer's website. So in my case, I went to the Samsung website for my Samsung A52, and I downloaded the software that is called Smart Switch. So I downloaded Smart Switch for Windows 10, and I downloaded Smart Switch for Mac, and then plugged the phone in and followed the similar steps where I had to allow permissions.
Okay, how do we get Samsung Smart Switch installed on a Windows PC or a Mac? We go, as I said, my Android is a Samsung A52. So I've gone to Samsung's website. It says Smart Switch, a sure and secure way to move your content to Galaxy. So Smart Switch gets along with your old device. Moving to Galaxy from another OS isn't hard with Smart Switch. This app works with many devices. What we're going to do is we're going to use the desktop software to make a backup of your Android on your computer, and then you can use that backup to restore to a new device if you want. So there's a ton of different ways to move content from one device to another. You can do it wirelessly, you can do it with a cable. But what we're looking for is the downloads. So if you're on a Windows computer, you download the Windows version. If you're on Mac, you download the Mac version. Then you install the software and follow the steps for backup. Okay, so I've downloaded and installed the Smart Switch software on Windows 10, as you can see, and currently I'm just prompted with a couple checkboxes. I have to check those boxes off, and then there's device driver to install, and you're just sitting here waiting for the software to complete successfully. And I believe I had to reboot the computer twice in order for the software to be complete. So just hang in, you're almost there. Okay, Smart Switch is installed on Windows 10. I choose backup, and after you hit backup, you are prompted with a dialog box. It's going to show you an ETA of which files it's backing up. So you just wait for that to be finished. If there's not that much stuff, it's a couple minutes. If your Android's full, it's going to be 20-30 minutes. And at the end of the backup, you get a report that the backup has been completed. It skipped contacts because there's none on that phone, and any apps would just be re-downloaded through the Google Play Store.
So why would you back up your iPhone, iPad, or your Android device? Number one, to have a backup. Number two, it's the easiest way to switch between old device and new device. Most clients complain to me that they went to the cell phone store or kiosk in the mall and got a new phone and nothing was transferred over. And then I asked them if they've made a backup of their phone, and the answer is no. And I'm like, it takes 30 minutes. You should have backed it up before you went to the store. So now you know you don't have to lose your stuff when you go to a new iPhone, iPad, or Android device.
My name is Mansell Jones. I'm owner and president of MJ Jones Adjusters. We're a small independent insurance adjusting firm that have been in business for approximately 30 years. I first ran across Mike, and about 3.5, 4 years ago we were doing a change in our office, and found these folks. I'm not sure exactly how, but their advertising was pretty good. I think we've actually found them online. My experience with this company has been excellent. They helped us through a move where we were networking our different employees to work out of their houses, and it was seamless actually. We were down for a very short period of time, and since then, where we've had a need to do changes or increase our ability to do other things within the IT sphere, these fellows have been very attentive to our needs, respond very quickly to our calls when we've been down, and I can only recommend them to you. The kind of work we do is it requires some immediate attention oftentimes, and so to have someone you can count on to respond quickly is paramount to our business. So I certainly recommend Mike and his team to you. I think that you'd be served well.
Hi, Michael. For some reason, the pictures folder is not backing up again. I put some pics in a Christmas 2021 folder last Monday and they never got to Grace's desk. Did some more on the 25th and they didn't make it there either. I don't add that many photos anymore, so I have no idea how long it hasn't worked. Let me know what you think we need to do. Thanks and Happy New Year. Fred. Thanks for the text. Your response has been sent. Hi, Fred. I checked the computers out last night at 9 p.m. remotely. The Buffalo storage box is end of life and it really isn't supported by Windows 10 anymore. I know the workaround, so I've worked around it for now and it's now fixed. I ran the synchronization software on both computers and they bitched about the security on the Buffalo network attached storage device. After the workaround, the complaint went away. So in the grand scheme of things, it's time to replace that Buffalo server. I'm assuming it's a couple years old. This is a picture of a Buffalo link station, home or small business file server, similar to what the client has. However, his model is at least 10 years old and is no longer compatible with Windows 10 security, so I've suggested he upgrade to a newer version of the Buffalo link station home server.